I like, let's make a head start because there's a
Okay.
lot. We've got a lot of coins to talk about. So okay, yeah, starting with Bitcoin dominance
Yeah.
because
Me wa mute me so no I'm here bia.
okay, let's start with Bitcoin dominance because this is important for altcoins. So if Bitcoin is going to still dominate, then altcoins will go up, but they won't go up as much as Bitcoin would do. So if we look at the dominance here, uh, if we kind of bring it all the way back down here to the bottoms here, the lowest of the lows was here. So if we kind of look at the move that is done, right? So we've got this whole wave here. So we got one rise to the upside, then you had two rise here, then you had your third rise somewhere there, right? And then we had our fourth rise here, and now we had our fifth rise. So we got five of them, five rises in this move up here, which is normally what you see, either it's five or seven. So the Bitcoin dominance is, and then we've had this big volume here, which is what we've got from the big move to the upside, right? And what normally happens with these sort of moves is the big moves like this, sometimes they are the climax of the move. So it's a big move, and then of course it then cools off. So um, we've got divergence as well on the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart. So we've got divergence on the weekly chart. So, price has gone higher. And as you can see, all this time since the move began, and it's been going up and up and up, your MACD is also going down and down and down. So if you draw a line across it, it's just been downwards, right? So there's a divergence there on MACD. And there's divergence also on RSI as well currently as we speak. So this thing will come down. The dominance will come down, which means that the altcoins hopefully can go up against Bitcoin. It can be more stronger against Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't go up, but I think altcoins will start beginning to outperform Bitcoin in terms of their moves. So that's what the Bitcoin dominance is telling us. So let's move on to Bitcoin itself and have a look at Bitcoin and see what is happening on the weekly chart. So this is the big money traders chart. There's still this gap here, which needs to be filled at some point. And I think, at some point, price will come back to this point. It will come back in here at some point. I think probably maybe, next week probably starts coming back down, pulling down. But there's still the potential based on their chart for price to go up first. So go up slightly, maybe to like, let's call it, let me mark it here so we can see how we do. To like 95K, something like that. I think between 93K and 95K, as a kind of a final push to the upside, something like this here, like that. So we get a final push to the upside, and then we can kind of start up pulling back down. So that's the CME chart. This gap here, it's quite telling that at some point probably will get filled. So that's just that for us to note about that. Volume is going up and up and up, so price continues to go up. So I expect price to continue to go up next week because of that. Volume is going up. So we potentially will see a move to the upside before the down. So if we draw it, it would be something like that. So it would be let's drag from here. So we go up and then we come down into this place and then we go up again. So something like that. So up, down, up we go. So that's something like that. Okay, so let's move on to the normal BTC chart, the Binance Perpetual chart, and see what's happening there. We've got this trend line which we are tracking, which goes from the bottom here Let me make it this bigger. So it's tracking it from the bottom, from the lows, cuts through there, cuts through the tops here, and it's kind of like a benchmark in terms of continuation. So we need to break above it and close above it. So we've broken above it, but now we need to see whether we close above it first. I think based on what we saw on the CME chart, the volume is going up. So next week we will go up higher again. It's possible we come down first and go higher, whichever. I mean, we could come down first before going higher, or we could go higher first before coming back down. Either of them is possible. But I think I'm leaning more to the upside first before the downside, so that, at least I've gone up, poked the stop, because people have shorted Bitcoin at around 90,000, 93,000, and their stop losses are right above here. And so, the market maker would need to go and knock some of those stop losses off before running the price down. And in terms of the move itself, if we track it in terms of where we are, all this move from here, all this here is one move. Then we've got two, and we are into our third move. So there's still two more left. And after this, there's two more rises to the upside. So, I think the ultimate target on this thing, is probably going to be around I'd say probably 150, 150K, 160K, somewhere there. That's where we'll end up, because that will give us enough time for us to do another rise up to maybe 120. We rise up again, we go to 120, we come back and test 100K, then we go back up again to about 150, 160K, maybe a little bit higher, and then correct properly. So, there's more levels on this. There's more room for this to go up quite a lot. So still have a few more to go. If we bring it down to, say, like the daily chart, and look at the daily chart in terms of the move itself. So from here, we've got one move there. We've got another move here, two. We've got another move there, three, 4, and 5. So the daily is finished its moves, right? We've got 5 levels on the daily chart. And MACD started to come down. So, it's telling us that, and you can see the volume is dropping. So look at the volume here, look at the volume there, it's dropping and dropping. So, it could be we go up slightly, deceive everybody that we are going to go higher, and then run it back down. The ultimate target for, the reversal is where these lines are, somewhere around like 82K minimum, and, 85K at the very least. Normally you would test the 21 on the retrace, and the 21 moving average. The 21 moving average is sitting around 78K. So which ties in with that gap that we've got. It's around 77K. So, but this will keep moving up. This will keep moving up. So ultimately, I think, I'll be conservative and say, okay, this gap will get filled first. And I think we'll get some more downward action, which brings us back down to about the 77, 76K to kind of finish the move down. And by then, hopefully, this would have come all the way back into below zero, and then start ticking up, and then we start our new move to the upside, right? So that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to some of our favorite coins. Tia, let's look at I think on this is very important for us to look at the BTC pair for any of the coins that we want to trade or buy, because the ones that will do well are the ones which are strong against Bitcoin, right? So, you've got tier BTC here. So if we look at tier BTC on the weekly chart, I mean, we can look at a daily chart actually, because and see where we are in terms of the movements to the downside. So let me make this smaller, a bit bigger, right? So this move started at the top here, all the way down here, all the way down here. It's all this is one move. All this is one move. So one move to the downside here, then two there, right? And then we come back all the way down here, 3. So we go at 3, and get rid of that. We go 3 here, 4, and we got 5. So it's done the levels on the daily chart in terms of drops, right? And we have a divergence here, right? So if we have divergence on MACD, and we've got divergence also on the RSI as well. So your MACD is going upwards, right? And your RSI is also going, it's kind of going upwards, because if you make it from here, you draw a line from this side, you'll be drawing it all the way up. And if I make this bigger, you can see it's up, right? So welcome, Marshall. So since here, which was March, price has been going down, RSI has been going up and up and up. So we do have a divergence there. So we've got double divergence in play for this to go up. So tier will do well against Bitcoin in the coming days. And we've got, already got a bullish type of candle here as well. So, and the weekly, we do have, the weekly is ending triple red. Well, we've not ended the week yet. We've got a few hours left, but if we finish like this, then potentially, we may pull back a little bit first. Could be we go slightly lower, then we go up, because we don't have any divergence yet on the weekly chart. So there's a potential for a little bit, maybe something like this. So like that. So you close here like that, and then you come down a little bit tiny, slightly. But it's also on a double support. See, double bottom support. So if I bring this here, there, you can see here, that's the bottom from 23 October. So it's sitting on a very strong support here. So it won't go that far, even on the weekly chart. So it's looking strong on the daily chart. It's looking strong on the daily chart to go up. So I think, it's definitely going to do well against Bitcoin in the coming days. And we can also put our trend line there, across there. This is a trend line to watch, because the moment it breaks the trend line, it's go up time. It's going to go up and up and up and up. So TIA is looking good on all those metrics. Is looking good against Bitcoin, and against the USD pair. We can have a look at the actual USD pair. So this is the daily chart. So the daily chart, but let's start from the weekly chart so we see what's going on the weekly. So during the week, we sold off quite a lot, and I was like, oh dear, this is not good. This is not good. But into the weekend, the buying pressure has picked up, and you can see that we've got our wick, which means that lower price is being rejected by the market. And maybe by Monday, this changes to green. It's very likely. If it changes to green, that's it, you're off. You're off to kind of like, a huge move to the upside. And it could be a very big candle. It could be a big candle as big as this. I mean, this one was a 421 to 744 candle. So this is about $3.60 candle. We could have a similar $3.60 candle coming next week. I mean, if you put a $3 on top of this, even from here, or let's even put it from the bottom here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could be easily at 850 if we get the candle that I expect us to get. But these tops here are going to be resistant. So here through here, it's going to be a resistance. So I think, 740, 750, probably we can get, I mean, all things being equal, we can get that. We can get that sort of move on. It's very possible on tier. So, I think at that price, I take my money and walk away. So that's tier. And again, it's also tracking this trend line as well. So it can go all the way up. It's possible it goes all the way up to here before, somewhere around the $9, 9.20. So TIA is looking good. On the daily chart, we can see we're forming a bullish type of setup. This is a bullish setup, so you've got price. It's like a double bottom here. So this one was 488. This one's 488.08, 488.02. So it's like a double bottom we've got right here. It cuts across this side as well. So if you come to this point here, it cuts across there as well. So there's a lot of support from this zone. There's more support on the other side, on this side as well. If you put a line across here, there's plenty of support zones across it. Here is a support zone as well. There's a support zone here. So, and we've got a bullish type of setup. It will go and exceed this point, 590 at the very least. So I think modest target, that's 6 year. Modest target, if you want to be modest, is, you say, okay, 640 is a modest target on tier on this bounce up. So it is 640 as a bounce area. But it will go higher. I think it will go and hit probably maybe $7, before it comes down. It pulls back down again. So that'll be a good move. And again, that's another trend line we need to monitor. So it needs to break this. Once it breaks this and confirm above it, you're off into some new bigger prices. So TIA is looking good in terms of a move to the upside, and will outperform Bitcoin. Let's look at render BTC. So let's go to the weekly chart first and go and look at the weekly chart. Okay, so render BTC again, it's also looking good. You've got a divergence here. Since you've got a divergence, it popped up to the close to the 21 before pulling back down. And I think next week it will go higher. After pullback, it will go higher against Bitcoin. So it will do well against Bitcoin as well because of that strength here on this chart. So let's look at the normal chart and see what's going on the normal chart. I mean, we've got this beautiful bullish candle here, divergence clearly, bullish divergence, and the divergence was created here, and we've gone quite high up. This is looking very similar to the tier one, right? So tier is sitting around like $5 something, right? $5 whatever, and the next thing you know, you get a big one candle like that moves you from 5 something to 759. This is a similar candle we probably will get on tier. Similar candle that will get on tier. So it's done a good move here. It's hitting the trend line and is getting some resistance, right? So I think this thing will come back down. It will come back in somewhere here. Between here, and here, you get a pullback. So I think, but it could go up a little bit higher first before that pullback. So, certainly for me, like entry wise, I'd put an order here for an entry somewhere there, 76. I'll put another one somewhere around here as well, maybe in the middle here, somewhere there around 45. And then I'll put one order here in the low 20s. One of them will get filled up. And then you can continue the journey to the upside. There's the potential for it to come into this zone somewhere here, but I think it will go up first before coming down to this zone when Bitcoin corrects properly. So somewhere here, this zone here, can be tested. It can even come all the way back down to this place here, this 447, but I doubt it because you want either a lower high or a double bottom, something like that. But I think the lower high is more likely on this one, so that you get something like this. You've got that, you can put it there. That is That is a W. So it's gone up, but it needs to come back down somewhere. Somewhere here, somewhere. You know, that will give you a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And then you continue, right? So, you know, on the next rise, it's probably worth, you know, when we move into $9 and maybe whatever, it's worth taking some profit, because when Bitcoin corrects properly, all these coins will drop back down again. So it's looking good as well. So I'm looking at these zones for my entry points, these zones for entry on render as well. The render is also looking good. PEPE. This is one that I missed last week when we discussed last week. You know, said this thing was going to go up, and it just shot up, boom, because it was listed on Coinbase and all the other exchanges. I think, you know, it just listed everywhere. So weekly chart, this is looking good, but you know, it's way overstretched, way overstretched. So if you look at where the KC channel is sitting around 18,467. And it needs to come back down. But you know, this thing will go up first. Normally, when you close outside the KC channel, you go up first. So, you know, if I wasn't in a trade and I wanted to take a trade, I would probably put a short somewhere. I'd say somewhere like 27, 28, somewhere there, and leave it. Because alternatively, if you want, you can ride it up to the 28. Of course, it's going to go up. So, you know, you could buy to go up to about 27. So, you know, 27, 26, you know, 27, somewhere there, 27. Yeah, 27. So 27, maybe 27 to about 28 tops. Yeah, so it will do that, and then it will correct properly, and it will correct back, correct about 50% of this body of the candle. So somewhere the tops here will be support. So support will be around this point, and that's sitting around 17, 16. So after it goes to 27, 26, 27, 28, it comes all the way back down here. So I think next week we'll have, you know, after these minor moves to the upside, there will be some good shorts coming, you know, where it will correct properly before it goes for the next proper leg up. So PEPE is looking good. You know, PEPE is looking good for more upside. So that's PEPE. And if we go and look at PEPE BTC as well, PEPE BTC is looking very bullish against Bitcoin. So it's strong against Bitcoin. So, you know, that's why you've got the move. So of course, there's supposed to be more upside first before the downside. You could have it going slightly higher to somewhere there before coming down on the BTC chart, on the BTC pairing, I guess. And then let's look at GOAT for those who want to trade GOAT. Weekly chart on GOAT. Now, look at this volume here. Look at this volume here. Look at this volume here. It's coming down. So when price is going up and it's not supported by volume, is somebody said it's like those people who are building the pyramids in Egypt. You know, you constantly need a fresh supply of slaves to be able to deliver the pyramid. And unfortunately, volume going down suggests more people are bailing out. So, you know, that tells me that this move, yes, we could go up slightly. Again, you know, if I move this back up to somewhere there, we could go to somewhere there, you know, maybe here, somewhere there, or a double top. It could be a double top type scenario, slightly above it, before we come down. And then you correct properly. You correct properly and come and test the tops, back to the tops here, before you go up. So GOAT is also looking good for more upside after minor upside pullback. Let's look at deep. Deep, weekly chart, I mean, let's go for a daily chart rather, so that we can see a bit more. Because these coins are new, you don't get all the metrics, but this is a level 1 rise, and then all of this is a level 2 rise, and then we've kind of pulled back. So I think there's a potential for it to go and test these tops here. There's a potential for it to go back and test these tops before a proper collapse happens on this. Let's see whether we get more metrics on 12 hours. Okay, let's go to 4 hours and see if we can count it on 4 hours. So from here, we've got, that's 1 rise, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So we've done, oh, hold on a minute. That's 4. Okay, let's do this again. Let's count it again. So from here is 1, that's 1. All this come back down. That is not higher, so we don't count. That's 2, that's 3, that's 3 there. That is 4, and then 5. So you got your 5 moves to the upside, and then you've corrected. So we've done our correction, and after the correction, we've done our first move, level 1, level 2. So there's a level 3 left. So there's one more level rise left here, and it, likelihood is comes either you're going to get a double top, which would be like a triple top type scenario. So maybe it goes triple top before it comes down, or it could be a slightly higher figure. So maybe it goes slightly higher here, and then corrects properly. So there is on the 12-hour chart. Again, yeah, so there's more room for upside here. There's more room for upside first before. So I mean, it's this one again is also one which is going to go up first. There's more upside on it before it collapses. And then let's move on to Pendle. Pendle is one that I think is a good shot actually, because if you look at the Pendle BTC chart, let's look at Pendle BTC. Where's the Pendle BTC chart? Oh, I haven't got it here. Pendle, yeah, here we go. Yeah, Pendle BTC. So what you want to see is, coins getting stronger against Bitcoin. And when the weekly is ending like this, it's not good. So it's going to get very weak against Bitcoin. And every move down on Bitcoin is going to move it even more down. So, we could end up with Pendle coming back to test this point here in the coming week, on the BTC chart. And if we go and look at it on the actual USD chart, this is a stopping candle right there. So on the weekly chart, we're having a stopping candle, which means potentially there is going to be a lot of downside on this. This move here, it didn't, the only, all you've got here is a small move to the downside here as a lower high, and then it's gone. This move can cascade all the way back down to the bottoms here. Easily cascade back down. So, if we do a fib retracement from here to there, and you say, okay, what's the 50%? 50% is sitting around like 417. So there's a good shot here on this particular one. That was my high line. It's went slightly past it. So there's an opportunity on this one for a short. So if you want a short, this one is a good one. But when this candle closes, expect price to come back up a little bit. So maybe put your entry price somewhere here. So somewhere there, 568 as an entry point, and then you can then run it back down. Run it down to the 50%, which is somewhere here. That's not a bad trade, bad short trade. So this one is definitely a short, but I'm in a tier long, so I can't take this short. Otherwise, I'll be taking it. And then let's look at Aave. So Aave is also not looking good on the weekly chart. So triple red type scenario. And I think on Aave, I mean, it's gone and hit, look, it's gone and hit the line and being rejected from the line like that is not good. So I do expect it to continue coming down. I think, worst case scenario, 132 is a good area for it. I mean, if we want to count on the week, this is a weekly chart, right? So, if we want to count from the bottom of this move, let's get this off so we can see much bigger. Counting it from here, where's the bottom? This is the bottom part of it. So if we want to even start counting from there, this whole move is one move. And then you've got 2, you've got 3 here, you've got 4 here, and you've got 5, and we have divergence, right? So you look at the price here, look at the price there, look at the volume that took us here, look at the volume here, and look at the divergence on MACD, divergence on RSI. So this one is a good shot. But again, you might get some slight upside first. So, you could get, somewhere around 175, as a bounce area. If we go to 4 hours, we might even be able to pick it up much better. So, it could bounce, yes. So back to this line here, somewhere here, 175, double top or slightly higher, somewhere there, a bounce there, come back down, But, ultimately, obviously, it's going to come down. So if you were to use the approach, you can open 5% here, open another 5% when it hits this point here and leave it. And that's all your entries. Then you leave your 5% in case it bounces slightly a bit higher up to this point. Then you can put another 5% on the table. Yeah, but this one on the higher tide is coming down. It's a downward price rather than an upward price. And the levels have been done. So it's done its move. It will cool off before the next energy to the upside. I think it will go up. It will go way high. It will break the line and then go and probably maybe exceed the $600, $700. So 6x, 7x on the table. It's not a bad trade. And actually, Aave is quite a strong coin. It's performed really well against Bitcoin. If we go and look at the Bitcoin Aave BTC chart, we can see why it's been doing well, because you can see the performance from here, right? It was outperforming Bitcoin. So it was going up and up and up. Now you have a pullback and now you're correcting. Normally with these things, the market is very kind. You tend to get threes. So I won't be surprised at all if this thing comes back down here first, and then continues the proper journey to the upside. So Aave will be weak in the coming days. Will be very weak. Let's look at SUI. SUI BTC first and see the strength of SUI against Bitcoin. So if we look at SUI BTC, what we can see is here. So we've got the bottom is there. So raising one rise there, and it gone. That's number 2, number 3, and now we pulled back, and now we're going. So, and the volume is going higher and higher. So it's supported, right? So next week we can go higher on against Bitcoin. It can go higher as a result because of the volume. The volume is increasing, which means more new blood is coming in. And then also the 21 is about to cross the 50. So this will go up a bit more before any kind of correction. I think, we'll probably be looking at somewhere there before you get a proper correction on this. So with that in mind, we can go and look at SUI itself and see what's happening on SUI. So SUI is broken the line. It's broken the trend line quite convincingly. And these tops, I mark these tops as a potential area that I will come back to. It takes time with these things. So this week, last week, we had a good candle here, a good volume here, and we went higher, but the volume is lower, which is not good. We want to see increasing volume. But it's only just 1 week, and the volume is not too bad. So ultimately, We've also closed outside the KC channel. The KC channel is not 2.90. It will come back into the KC channel. So at the very least, there's a retest of this 316. At the very least, there should be a retest of it. Bring it back into the KC channel and then continue the journey. But it can go up one more first. It can go up one more first. So you could have this going to like we had 380, so $4.20, $4 somewhere there, first. And then after that, it comes back to retest the tops here. And more likely, this would have also moved up. Your KC channel would have moved up. This would have moved up. This would have moved up. This would have moved up, right? And then you would have it correcting back into somewhere in the middle. So where this line is very light. It's going to be an area of attraction for the pullback when it does happen, because that will be the previous tops as well. It kind of ties in with this place here. Yeah, so more more upside on SUI first before a pullback, proper pullback starts. Right, okay. So that's that one. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that. We don't need that. I mean, yeah, I'll just leave it anyway. Doesn't matter. It can be left. Undo, 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 undo. Okay, leave that there. Okay, so that's that one. Let's look at movie. Let's look at movie. So movie. Oh, I'm drawing. I don't need to be drawing. We don't have a movie BTC chart, which is a shame. So we can't really see the strength of movie against Bitcoin. But what we've got is it's come down one level, two. So there's a level 3 left, and that's going to be a big one. Could come all the way up to 0.6. So it is coming, but if we close the week like this, then it will come down first. So you could have a double bottom type scenario where it comes down to about below this candle here, 2130, comes down there, triple bottom type, triple bottom here, bottom there, support there. So let's move this slightly up a little bit here. Comes to that zone again, and then off it goes. But we've got a few more hours. Go to the daily chart and have a look at what's happening on the daily chart. Right, here we go. Okay, yeah, so this thing needs to come down first. It needs to finish its move to the downside below MACD. So yeah, so that place here, very, very good area for it to hit before it starts going back up again. So some more falling on MOBI before it finally goes into a parabolic move. Let's look at Aptos. So Aptos, I want to see Aptos BTC first, see the strength of Aptos and see where we are. So again, if this week closes the way it's closing on Aptos, it doesn't look good. I mean, it's a rejection candle, good strong volume selling, triple red, you're going to go lower. So I think if we do a measured move of what does this look like for here to here, then 50%, we hit 50%. So I think your next point of contact is somewhere around between here and that, kind of between this point and that point. So somewhere in between here, between these two areas, fib levels, could be an area where Aptos, it could come all the way down to here, to be honest, to give you a double bottom, but this hasn't been tested. Come all the way back down here, and then after that you go. So we'll leave those. Let's leave this here. We'll leave that one there, and then we'll monitor it as next week, see where we are. So more downside against Bitcoin, but I mean it could change because we've got 6 more hours, so it could change. But if it stays like this, it's not looking good. So let's look at it on the USD chart. Okay, so the USD pair, we had big volume, and then you have smaller volume. Now you're retracing backwards, right? But I think there's a potential for this to push up first before coming down. A little bit more push up, slide maybe back to about $13 before it starts coming back down. if we look at the daily chart, it might give us a bit more clues on this. So we can count our levels. Okay, so we've got level 1 there, level 2 there, come back down, level 3, 4, and then 5. So we have our 5 levels achieved on the daily chart. Got 5 level moves. It's moved from $4 to almost $13 or $15, $14. So 3x. It's on a 3x, and the retest is due around, at the very least here, this 50-day moving average and 21 on the daily chart. So at the very least you get $10, $10 between $10 and $9.72 at the very least. But it could come all the way and test this point here before we go back up again, because this needs to come all the way down. And this is like a lower high, a lower high, go your high, lower high. I mean, ideally, I would like to see it go up first and poke above here, $14, 28, $15 maybe, and then come back down. But you could have that, or you could have a double top, or you just get what you got here. So it's either this, or you're gonna get a double top, or you're gonna get slightly higher figure, and then you come back down. So it's going to be one of those 3 scenarios. I think the volume is so low at the moment. The volume here is so low, so low, the volume that there's no energy. There's no energy to push this. If we go to 12 hours, again, you can see, we have a high, a lower high, and, this can easily cross, and then you just come in cascading back down. So I think it's more likely to come back down rather than actually go up. So that's Aptos. Let's go and look at CETIS. So CETIS on the weekly chart is pulling back into this pullback. Yeah, so this is normally what happens. You get this big candle, you always come back into the KC channel. So it's come to the line that we had last week beautifully. And I think, now we need to see if we close like this, then it will go up higher. If we close like this, it will go up higher, because you've only done, 1 level there. This is 2, so there's a third. So it will go a big higher level above this. So if I just move that to somewhere, could get a double top. We could get slightly higher top. Somewhere we could get something like that before we get proper correction, and that correction will come back to these tops here. So if I move this now to these tops here, that will be your support zone for a pullback, proper pullback after it's done that. So it's a bit more upside on this one. Daily chart, yeah, this is a stopping triple red. So it's come down on lower volume, but MACD is ticking down. So it doesn't look too good for the upside. We've already had our stopping candle there on the daily chart, and we had a lower high. So, and this is a stopping candle. I think this thing continues to come down to the zone, comes back down to zone rather than go up. So that's CETIS. I mean, this one is another one that I think, if you want to short, I think, make sure you just proportions. If you take 5% here, don't add to it. You can put another 5% here if it goes to that point, and then you don't add till we get a stopping candle when it's exceeded this. But this is definitely, I think, one that I guess, a short is due as well. Ondo. So Ondo is done lovely. This Ondo chart, Ondo BTC. If I have Ondo BTC first, because if we don't have BTC on the chart, then it's not good. Let's look at how it's performing against Bitcoin on the weekly chart. So there was this divergence last week, and I think I did say I really liked the setup on Ondo. It was going to go up, and it's gone up. It's pulled back in. Now the question is this all we're going to get on the pullback? I think there could be a little bit more, but it's looking like the lower price is being rejected here on the Bitcoin chart, on the weekly chart. If we go to the daily chart, we can see that, we've gone since the move down here, we've only done 1, 2. So we've done 2, and we have a kind of like this move, which is not finished, right? And it's pulling back, but it will go higher. It will go higher. So this pullback is a great opportunity for, loading up on this coin for the long ride based on this Bitcoin pairing. Let's look at it on the actual USD pair. So it comes back in. I think it will probably come back in and test this point here. Comes back to test that zone, and it will go up higher. It will go up higher. This is a lovely coin because it's only done on the daily chart. If we pull it out from here, it's only done 1 level there, 2, and this is 3, and this is like switch back. This is like a divergence. So you're going to divergence there for it to come down. So it's going to pull back down. I mean, if you don't get support here, then you're looking at it coming all the way to the 21. But I think it will get support here. Very likely it will get support, and then it will continue to go up. So somewhere around 87, 87.65. That's not a bad place to start picking this up for the long ride. So that's Ondo. A bit more upside, but good pullback coming. Let's look Miria. I think Miria last week, we spotted Miria was going to go up based on, I think based on this candle we had here. Based on this candle, we said it was going to go up, and it's gone up. It's done, it did what, 38%. So that was a beautiful move. It's still got more upside. It's still got more upside. It will pull back a little bit, but I think there's more upside. There's more upside here. Miria will go up. At the very least, you can get 0034. And I think this thing will go up quite a lot because it's like a beating dog. It's now rising, so it's going to rise up. So there's more upside on Miria, plenty of it coming. This is a good candle on the weekly chart. Even if you pull back to somewhere here, I'll put an order there. If I was looking for entry point, one order there, one order here, and one final order at the bottom here, double bottom type scenario. So 3 orders. One of them will get filled, and then you ride it all the way. You ride it all the way to the top. I mean, if you want guarantee, then you say, okay, look, I'll do 50% of the body of the candle. You get that. And then maybe you put 1 here rather at the bottom and 1 somewhere there. Yeah. Those 3 orders will get filled. 2 or 1 of them will get filled. 1 or 2 will get filled. 3 all can fill, and then you can ride it up. So again, it's another great one. If I wasn't in a trade, I'll take it, but I'm already in one already. So, and let's look at some of these meme coins, right, and see if there's any opportunity on these meme coins. Numogram. This one is volume is increasing, so you expect it to go up. Higher volume. Next week is supposed to go up. Where is Fatcoin? Fatcoin it's gone crazy, but again, there's a red flag on it. So you've got high volume, low volume, lower volume. That's a warning shot. I think it's, and if we go here, you can see the volume is going down and down and down and down. Price going up. That isn't good. So this thing is due a correction, and if we go here, yeah, let's see if we can count. We can use our counts here. All this to there is 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and then this is 5. So it's done the 5 levels on the 12-hour chart. Do we have divergence? We don't yet have divergence yet on 12 hours. There's no divergence on the daily chart. So let's see on 8 hours. Okay. So we do have something on 8 hours. So here, and there, that's a divergence right there. So this can come down back to here and potentially back to there. So there's a divergence here on 8 hours, which is playing out currently. So this is a good shot. You can get it all the way down there. Can bring you all the way down to this point here. Let's move it slightly out there. So 3.5 to 2.4. But you know, it will move if it moves like that, it will move into this frame. Because you had a stopping candle here. This is a warning shot. This is a warning shot on the 12-hour chart that you should be careful, right? And go 1, 2, 3, 12-hour candles. There could be one last one left, and then you correct. When you correct below this candle. So you correct all the way below this candle. So somewhere here is where the correction will come to. Yeah. So there's a opportunity for shorts on this one. Again, you know, you can start 2% here, 5%, another 5% there, and then leave your 2.5% for any further upside, you know, if there is, to ride it back down. But yeah, this one is gone. It's overextended. It needs to cool off. Jupiter, one of my favorite coins. Again, that's another one that I like. We spoke about Jupiter last week, and I did say this was going to go up. So we've gone up all the way to 129 from last week. When we spoke last week, I think we were somewhere here. We were somewhere there. 104, I think it was 104, 101 or something like that. But I've drawn this because sometimes price can always come back to the lows. You know, but I don't think this happens here. It will come back down into next week. You know, we got like something like this. So this is something similar here we're forming. Got pink candle there, pink candle here. So it could come down a little bit more first before going up, but I think it will go up and exceed this 184 very easily, very, very easily. So Jupe is one to collect. If you're looking to collect a particular coin and just leave it, maybe I'll put an order somewhere there. You probably will get it. And then one at the bottom here, you will get those orders filled, and you can ride it all the way to about 183, $2. It will go higher than $2. I think this probably will do $5 easy. So that's a good one as well. Optimism. Optimism is looking really good. I like it. It's looking good. This is good. This is really good. Strong volume. We'll go up next week. I think, you know, I think $2.40 is on the cards next week on Optimism. The setup is looking really good. So I definitely will expect us to go up, you know, at the very least. It could go up all the way there. So this 50-day moving average on a weekly chart, the initial zone for it to come to. So I like it. Again, another one that I would trade if I was looking for a trade. I'll go long on this. It will do really well. IMIX. IMIX is also looking good. It's also another good one. You know, I think we had a zone there. It's coming to the zone. And it's going up. It will go up. It will go up to this level here at the very least. 197 into the coming week. It will go up higher. You know, could go way up to somewhere there. But initial target will be somewhere here. But this is another one I would take the trade if I was looking for a trade, a long trade. It's a good setup for going up. That's a good one as well. Say it's already done a beautiful move and it's now tracing backwards, but I still like it. The volume is strong. The move is only started. Strong volume. There will be more upside. There will be more upside on this. Again, this is another one that, you know, is coming to the zone. But, you know, when we close the week, it could pull back a little bit first. So, you know, 40, somewhere in the 40s, maybe, you know, somewhere here, the top's here. 48. And 48 and 51 is not that far, somewhere there. So between this gap, we could see the gap between this and this, and then you go up, and you're talking to, I mean, you're talking into the above this figure here. It will go way higher. It will go like, I think ultimately this could also do $5 as well, very easily. This is another trade I would probably take if I wasn't in a trade. I would take this one as well. It's a good one as well. I would definitely take that if I didn't have a trade. So Mundig, this is Marshall, your coin. So let's go and see what's happening on the lower time frame, 12 hours. So this is a bullish candle here. Yeah, so this is a rejection of lower price, and it's going to go higher. It's going to go and exceed this peak here. So this will go higher. Mundik will go higher. We'll exceed this. So, you're talking, you've done level, all this probably is level 1, level 2, and this is level 3, and then you're going to have your switch back. So it will go, if I was trading this, I'll take my profit either here, take half here, and I'll take the rest. If I'm already in it, I'll take the rest somewhere here, somewhere there. Because you could have it here and then corrects back down, or you could go much, much higher. So, if you split your bag and you take half here, if you're already in this from somewhere here, or maybe even somewhere there, you can take half here and then leave the rest to run till we stop. But the volume this volume is strong, so I expect it to go higher than this volume. Once we see the volume after this, we can see whether we have more upside or not. Like here, higher volume, higher volume, higher volume, you keep going up, higher. But the moment you get lower volume, that's not good, and you correct. So higher volume, let's see what volume we get. This is a warning shot. This is a warning shot for the upside. The same way we had a warning shot here for the upside, and then after that, you correct. That's our warning shot. So we're going to have a slight move to the upside and then correct backwards. So that's Mundig. Dot on the, let's go and look at Dot on the weekly chart first, see what's going on there. Again, it's looking strong. Strong volume will go up higher, maybe after a pullback. We can pull back to somewhere, we can pull back to the tops here, or even up to somewhere here, 50% of the body of the candle, and then we go up higher. So Dot is going to go up higher. It will go up higher. It will face a bit of resistance here to break this 50 MA at 646. But once it breaks that, then you're into a new kind of retest it and go way higher. So, and it's the beginning of the move on Dot. Dot has been beaten down for a while. So I think, it will do well. It will go above this $11. Definitely will go above it. I think by March, Dot will be back. By March, it will be back to these, probably back to these peaks here by March next year. So it's not a bad trade. It's got a bit of movement on it. So that's Dot. Dot is also looking good. But I think no one is talking about Dot yet. So it will take a while, but its setup is looking good. Peanut. Let's look at Peanut. Oh, look at Peanut. It went close to my line. Ooh, Peanut. 253. 253. Right, okay. So Peanut, again, this is always a warning shot, right? When volume starts drying out, it's a warning shot. You're going to come down. So this is now looking like its trajectory to come down, and it will pull back down to about here, somewhere here. It'll pull back down to about there, 120, before it goes up again. If we go and look at it on a 12-hour chart, we've got a stopping. I think we had a stopping candle. We don't have a stopping candle to probably 8 hours. We don't have one yet here, 6 hours. There's still stop losses at the top that needs to be knocked off. So it's possible that it just goes and knock the stop losses double top here or slightly higher first before coming down. They need to knock those stop losses off. The market makers would want to do that. Sometimes it doesn't happen. sometimes it won't happen. And, let's see. Okay, it's here. So you can see here, the stop losses have been already knocked up here. So this one is 249. This one is 250. So they've already done it. So yeah, it's more likely to come down and come and test these bottoms here before we go up. At the moment, if we're drawing it, though, you would say you need a lower high somewhere here or a double top. So, bear that in mind when you take it. Split your orders, make sure 5% is sitting at the top here, somewhere in the middle here, the other tops here, and that should be fine in terms of bringing it back down because it will come back down. The volumes have tailed off dramatically. There isn't much volume. Again, when you get all these big volume, then small volume, you should be looking for a short. All right, straight up. When you get big volume on a higher time frame like 12 hours or daily chart, you get big volume, then you get small volume, you should take a short. It means the move is cooling off, time to go. And also you combine that with some RSI, but you don't have it here. RSI and MACD divergence, that's really good. So this one is going to come down. ACT is also looking weak because the volume is drying out. Big volume, small volume, small volume, just small volume. It's a recipe for a short, and it started coming down. So yeah, I expect it to continue coming down. Look at the weekly chart. So this week and last week's volume, this is higher than this. So again, you're going to come back down. At least you can get about 50% correction on this. 50% correction on this body of the candle. It's possible before you kind of start going back up again. So, the tops here and it lines up kind of with the tops as well. So the tops here, definitely comes back somewhere there. You could get even 50% of this. But let's be a bit realistic and say, okay, here. So that's also another one. Dodge. We're going to Dodge for the weekly chart and look at Dodge on a weekly chart. It's way outside the KC channel, way outside the KC channel. It would need to come back in. The volume is going up, so I expect that it's possible that we can go up slightly higher before. If I'm looking for a short on this, I'll put my first entry here. I'll put one here, and I'll put one slightly above it, so that you got 3 entries. One of them will be hit, or 2 or 3 of them all will be hit, and then you ride it all the way back down into the KC channel, probably to the tops here, before we start going back up again. So that's Doge. The pop cut it probably will go up higher because again, volume is higher, it will go up higher. So it will go up, this will go up higher first before. And we have a W also on the RSI as well. So this will go up higher. So an opportunity for a long trade on pop cut to go slightly higher first before we cool off. Wave is also looking good. Big volume, triple red, triple green. It will go up higher. It's come back into the KC channel. I think it will, we are already having a kind of a bullish type of candle here. So if it stays like this, then it will go higher and exceed this first before you get proper correction. So this goes up higher first, then you get proper correction. So this one also is looking good for long trade. Litecoin, I saw Litecoin during the week. Somebody posted about it and I looked at it and I said, okay, it's going to go up higher. It's gone up and now it's correcting back down. So if we end the week like this, and that's because you're having a dead cross, right? It's a golden cross. The golden cross is pulling it in, so pulling it back in. So, it could come all the way back down to here, the tops here, $82. But if it goes up first, then it will come back all the way down into these levels. So, but I think, if we close the week like this, we go up slightly, maybe to about $92, $90, and then we continue the journey back down all the way to somewhere here, $75. before you go up. Because it's been on a run, you know, it's been on a run. So if we're counting, this is one wave there. Oh, this is two here. This is three, this is four, and this is five. So it's done the 5 levels on the daily chart, needs to correct 50%. So somewhere here is very achievable, $75. So this is a good shot. It's a good shot as well. It's done the moves, it needs to come back down. You will get a good trade here. Triple red already here. And we bounced up here, so we're going to go down to somewhere there. 79 first, then we'll have a small bounce up, then you continue the journey down. So this one is looking like a good shot. I want to look at Boba because Boba, I did like the setup on Boba on the weekly chart. I looked at it, yes. So we have a bullish candle here, and we have this is a good candle. So Boba is ready to go to the upside. Unfortunately, you can't trade this. This is a spot buy, so it's a good one to start buying if you wanted to buy this. And when the pumps come on this, they are quite big. They're quite big pumps when they do come. So I think this is ready to go up and exceed these tops. So we're talking 130 to about 150 is my target. So this is about 5x. Where it is now is 5, 6x, 6, 7x, maybe even a 10x move to the upside. So Boba is looking good in terms of the upside at the moment. So that's all I've got, guys. Any questions, any coins that I've missed that you want me to look at, we want us to discuss before we kind of call it a session?
Nothing from me, Ken. Thank you.
Marshall, any new
Yeah,
any new coins, any new gems to look at?
No, not new yet, not new yet. I think now I'm just settling with this. Shiny obviously we already have, but yeah,
That's
not new
cool.
one.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, we've got plenty of trades. I mean, like, the good
Yeah.
ones, I think, there's plenty good ones. Dot is a good one. Say is a good one. IBIX is a good one. Optimism, Jupe. There's plenty. Miria is a good one as well. Like we got plenty. And shorts, we have some good shorts as well. Ave, yeah, there's plenty of meat available, so
It's
I
quite a
think
lot, to be honest. Yeah.
plenty
I
of
just trade the memes for a short period of time,
yeah.
but I know like Dot, yeah, I think I'm gonna put a trade on Dot for the next year, yeah, and leave it
Yeah, you
small,
can.
small.
Yeah, you can if you want to. I mean, you can. But I think, if you wanted like a long trade like that, I probably will go with either a Jupe or a Ondo or an Optimism or a Say. See, people are talking about these coins. See, you want like coins that people are talking about. Like if we go and talk about, okay, look, let me go and search for and say dot. Polkadot. Polkadot. All right. And let's see who is making a video. Okay, somebody's made a video here 3 days ago, 6 days ago.
It's,
We've
it
got
started to bring fast
so
because
yeah, people have started talking about it, right? People have started
those
talking about dot.
they've
Yeah. So
gone,
so definitely yes, it's you could buy it and leave it, yes, because now there's some traction. There's some traction in terms of talking about it. If I go and look for Jupe, right? Jupe coin or Jupe crypto, it's very quiet in terms of talking points on it. Okay, somebody's talking about it 8 days, 2 weeks ago, 7 days ago. Maybe the way I put it, Jupiter, crypto, Jupiter, crypto. See, yeah, so still, yeah, so you go 8 days, somebody's talking about it. 2 days ago, somebody's talking about it. 6 hours ago, somebody's talking about it. Okay, there's some traction there. Let's look at Ondo. Who's talking about Ondo? One day. Ondo 5 days ago. Ooh, Ben Armstrong is talking about it. Okay, big boy. Interesting.
He's a
Okay.
killer.
That's good. You've got I think he's the only one talking about it at the moment. There isn't much talk on it. It's old coins.
Big bag. Beginning.
And then let's look at Tia, who is talking about Celestia. Celestia. This is why these sort of things are important because the more people talk about it, the more people are going to hear about it and go, okay, so here you go. But somebody started talking about it 3 days ago. And here 2 weeks ago, somebody was talking about it. And that's about 6 days ago. Okay, somebody's talking about it. And 1 day ago, 8 days ago, 10 days ago, it's the same person anyway. 2 weeks ago, somebody's talking about it. So there's some talk on it, but not a lot. I mean, there is some talk, but it's the same people anyway. So it's starting to kick up. If I put say crypto in there 2 days ago, all right? Now here you go. So 21 hours ago, 6 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 11 days ago, 21 hours ago. So yeah, there's a lot of talk on this coin, right? So no wonder it's gonna pump. So yeah, I mean, it's always good to check some of these things, like who is talking about the coin that you are buying. If you put Sui here, you will see plenty boys talking about Sui. All right, look at that, 5 hours ago, 1 day, 5 days, like 3 days ago. It's like we just talking about Sui. Plenty of people talking about Sui. So that no wonder Sui is just pumping and pumping and pumping. It's doing well, but people are just the marketing machine on Sui is crazy. So that's it about it. What we'll do is let me just stop the recording.